Recently, my wife and I took a trip to England. We booked our trip through Tomwellywells Travel and Tourism. Tom really went out of his way to show us all of London. We got to see Elizabeth Tower and we heard Big Ben chime. After that, we made our way over to Buckingham Palace and we were able to see the changing of the guard while we were there. Tom made sure to give us all the historical facts, or at least all that he could remember of them. We used public transportation to get around most places in London, including the tube, buses, and plain old hoofing it. He took us down to the Leek Street Arches where we got to see a lot of cool art. We made sure to take a whole lot of pictures to make this trip more memorable. Before we left, we all made sure to sign our names on the wall to leave our mark on London. If you'd like to see more of our trip, leave a comment below. Recently, my wife and I took a trip to England, and we went through Tomwellywells Travel and Tourism.
A morning coffee and my sausage roll.
We used public transit to navigate through London, and we saw a lot of cool stuff along the way, like art and the London Eye. We also took an Uber boat down the Thames, and Tom took us up the Shard.
All the way up there.
The elevators take you up to the 68th floor, and that's where we got some great views, but we went up even further.
We're at the top of the Shard. Yeah, just about charter pants. At least we get fresh air.
We had to take our silly pictures along the way, but we had a great time in London, all thanks to Tom. Of course, my wife had to feed a goose when she saw one. We got to see Kensington Palace. Unfortunately, it was under construction. Tom took us to the Camden Market where we got some food.
I think this is what they used to shoot down dragons in the day. Tom says it's just an art piece, but I don't believe him.
There was a trained bird to keep the pigeons away over here. At night, we made our way to Chinatown and down to Piccadilly Circus where we were able to see a live performance. I'm sure there was a whole lot more that we could have seen while we were in London, but we had to move on. Our trip was short and we were heading to Exmouth. So leave a comment if you want to see more of our trip. Recently, my wife and I took a trip to England, and we went through Tomwellywells Travel and Tourism. Tom made sure to show us around, and we made our way over to his shack. He made sure that we had a real England experience by going to Bovey Castle and having some afternoon tea. They had a live pianist there, and they came out with a tower of finger foods for us. There was a fully stocked wine cellar in the back, and we got to see some beautiful views. Tom wasn't only our chauffeur and our tour guide, but he was also our photographer. He took some amazing pictures of us. Since Tom and I became friends because of our love of art, we decided to make some art together. So we made a picture for his mom and some for our friends at home that were watching our pets. It was a fun experience.
It's something.
We both added a personal touch to each painting we made. Luckily, I took a picture in front of Tom's mural before we both ruined it later on. I got to see a sketch original painting in his house, and then we moved on to the next part of our trip.
Carl, what do you do for a living?
I'm in other people's content, apparently.
So leave a comment if you want to see where we went next. Recently, my wife and I took a trip to England, and we went through Tomwellywells Travel and Tourism.
So Nick, tell the people,
Yeah.
how do you like driving in the UK?
I'm a fucking pro at it, man.
Yeah, you are.
Went to the Tomwellywells School of Driving.
After a quick course in driving in England, our first stop was the Eden Project. This was a former clay mine that was transformed into a Mediterranean and rainforest biome. The indoor biomes and the outdoor gardens cover about 30 acres, and it was a nice way to spend an afternoon.
For the gram.
We got to see all kinds of things like sculptures and beautiful views. We made our way through both of the biomes, and of course, my wife ended up making friends with a pheasant.
Hey, baby. If your tail feather means they're happy.
I'd say that this was a highlight to our trip, but honestly, the whole thing was just amazing. I found the gecko. Welcome to the Mediterranean. Look at the sack on that dude. Causing trouble in the bubble. This is Infinite Blue, made by Studio Swine, which is an immersive installation that honors cyanobacteria. I'll let you guys Google that. We hit the road to explore more of Cornwall, so leave a comment below if you want to see where we went to next. Recently, my wife and I took a trip to England, and we went through Tomwellywells Travel and Tourism. After leaving the Eden Project, we hit the road again, and we were heading further south down Cornwall. We stopped for lunch before heading to the Monac Theater, which is a famous theater that's carved into the side of a cliff. It's right on the ocean. We had booked our tickets in advance to see the Seth Lakeman Band perform live. We grabbed dinner after that before calling it a night. In the morning, we got Cornish pasties, and Jess got a tattoo while we were in Cornwall. We met up with our friend Spray Saint at Inky's Smokehouse, and we got some barbecue before heading out onto a trail to do a little hiking. We took a walk down Galitha Falls, which just looked like it was an enchanted forest. Jess kept referring to it as Narnia. It was great to hang out with Jordan again and meet his wife Beth and his whole family. We hit the road again, and we were headed back to Tom's to hang out with him and Anastasia. Leave a comment if you want to see what we did next. Recently, my wife and I took a trip to England. After saying goodbye to Jordan and his family, we hit the road again, and we were heading back to Tom's house. After making our way back to the spray shack, I took one last picture with Tom's mural before he had me cover it up because he wanted us to do a mural together. Fuck Tom's mural. He gave me a crash course on his VR headset, and he had me do the outline. I had my struggles, but it worked. It's a something.
Basically, so using your legs, so see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So good. You filming me?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Woo!
Tom was a very patient instructor, and we spent a few hours making this. It turned out okay. Tom made us breakfast the next day.
For the gram.
For the snot.
That evening, we had a roast dinner thanks to our British mom, Deborah, and Papa Nigel. We all hung out that night, and we got to know our British family a little bit better. Next day, we hit the road, and it was time to go home. We passed by Stonehenge before saying our goodbyes. I just gotta thank everybody for making this trip happen. All of our friends at home that watched our pets, especially my buddy Nick and our neighbors Joe and Chastity. Jordan, Beth, and the kids for showing us a great day. Deborah and Nigel for all the great conversations and treating us like family. My wife for sharing this experience alongside me. Anastasia for making us feel like we were at home. And of course, that goofy British guy that I somehow became friends with online. Thank you guys for making this a trip we'll never forget.